Y'all, both of these recipes are so freaking good and y'all better make them. Okay, I'm not gonna threaten y'all, but please make them because they're so delicious. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Shakayla. For those of you who are returning, shout out to you. You're a real one. This week, I am sharing 2 new recipes with y'all. Vegan Philly cheesesteak sliders, as well as my garlic butter tofu. Philadelphia is very near and dear to my heart. Philadelphia is where I decided to go vegan. And so the food scene in Philly is absolutely crazy and so freaking good. That's what really inspired these vegan Philly cheesesteak sliders. They are the bomb. I hope I do them justice for the Philly people out there that are watching this. For the garlic butter tofu, y'all, that tofu is so good. I'm pretty sure that I can make some tofu lovers with this recipe. So let's get into the first video, which is the vegan Philly cheesesteak sliders. Here's a look at all of the ingredients I used aside from these seasonings, and I'll share those as we go through the video. One quick note, so I have mushrooms here, but I ended up not using them in this video. I had them because I originally planned to cook these 2 different ways, one with the mushroom base, one with the vegan meat substitute base. Now, if you don't like vegan meat substitutes, or maybe you can't find it, you don't want to use it, what you will do is follow all of the directions and steps that I'm sharing here, but instead of using the vegan meat substitute, you would use the mushrooms. For the peppers, you don't have to cut these perfectly. As you can see, I am just dicing them, and same for the onion. It doesn't have to be perfect, just dice it very small into those bite-sized pieces so that you're not having huge chunks of onions in your sliders. So next we want to just cook these peppers and onions down until they're really tender. Now y'all, I don't have exact measurements for the seasonings, only because I always feel like with certain seasonings, you kind of got to go with your taste buds. But I did season with pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, as well as some seasoning salt. And now we will add in the vegan meat substitute. Also, I hope y'all not judging me that I'm using these hamburger patties. Listen, we are getting creative. We are using our resources. I could not find a block of vegan meat at all. I feel like everybody is buying it up. So that was about half of a teaspoon. That was also about half of a teaspoon. All right, so maybe I do have some measurements of the seasonings for y'all. So again, we really want to cook this until the meat is completely brown. Next, we're going to add in the vegan cheese. So I added in about 4 slices of the vegan cheese, and then you just cook it down until the vegan cheese starts to melt a little bit more. And I know y'all know how vegan cheese does sometimes. It's gonna take a minute for this to melt completely, but don't give up, just keep mixing it, keep mixing it. Like so, like that. In my Auntie Tab's voice. And for the slider rolls, we're just gonna slice this, and I don't know, what is this, a lump, a loaf, I don't know what we're gonna call it, but just keep them together and slice them in half, but be careful not to go too low or too high. You want it to be pretty even on each side. For the dairy-free garlic butter recipe, we have garlic salt, garlic powder, and dried parsley. And we're going to use the dairy-free garlic butter on the bottom inside of the rolls and then as well as the top, so make sure you save enough for both. Now we're gonna bake those on 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. And this is an optional part of the baking process. You can cover it with foil if you would like to do that. I think it just helps the cheese melt a little bit more, but I didn't cover mine and it was perfectly fine. And there you have it, vegan Philly cheesesteak sliders. Okay, and next up is the garlic butter tofu recipe. If you are not a fan of tofu, I really do think this recipe can change your mind. I have a method where I freeze my tofu. Well, it's not my method. I think it's a pretty common one. I freeze my tofu and then I thaw it out. It has more bite to it. It's able to absorb the flavors a lot more. It is so good. It's everything. I love it. My husband, he doesn't like tofu, but I let him try the garlic butter tofu and y'all, he came back for seconds. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm gonna make a believer out of you. So that's the next recipe, so let's get into it. Here's a look at all of the ingredients. For the seasonings, I have dried parsley, garlic salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and white pepper. But if you don't have white pepper, you can just use black pepper. Dairy-free butter, extra firm tofu, extra or super firm tofu. And I normally get my tofu from either the Asian market, from Walmart, Whole Foods. I feel like just about every store possibly has this. Again, I followed the method of freezing the tofu and letting it thaw out completely. Here, I'm just showing you how I squeeze the excess water out using a paper towel or a kitchen towel. And you will be able to see here's how it looks. Like, it looks completely different than if you just buy it and take it out the package and cook it. So now I am just breaking apart the tofu into bite-sized pieces. And again, I'll have all of these directions. They're actually on my website. I have both of these recipes on my website right now. We're gonna add some olive oil to it, as well as some liquid aminos and cornstarch, and just give that a good mix. Listen, your hands are gonna get dirty. I probably should have wore gloves. If you have gloves, wear them. If you don't care like I did, don't wear them. You just want to make sure every side of the tofu is fully coated and covered and getting some love by the cornstarch. I'm gonna bake the tofu. One part that I forgot to film is spraying the top of the tofu with a spray oil as well, because we're gonna bake this on 400 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes, but halfway through we're gonna flip it over and spray it with more oil. And be generous with it. Be very, very generous. I have some butter, so you just want to melt the butter completely. Add in your crispy tofu as well as the seasonings. Again, all of the seasonings and directions, it's on my website, and I've linked the recipe in the description box. But just look how delicious this looks, y'all. And I'm telling you, it was fire. So make sure you try it. Make sure you try it. And so now I'm just removing all of the tofu because I am adding in the broccoli. And what I did, so added in some water for the broccoli, and I really just let it cook down until it was tender. And then I combined both the tofu and the broccoli together. Chef's kiss for this garlic butter tofu and broccoli. So thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed both of the recipes. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the post notifications so that you are made aware every time I post a new video, which should be every Sunday at noon CST. Thanks again for watching this video, and until next time.